Hello and welcome back to King's Quest II AGDI Remake. There is something that I forgot to do at the end of the last video, which is now that we have this cloth that we got under the sea, we can offer it as a tissue to whatever this mystery creature is in the haystack.
Here, this might help your sneezing.
Oh, thanks. Here, you can have this back now.
You retrieve the partially used cloth from the haystack.
Feel better?
Yeah, it's so good to be able to
Well, I guess we tried to help. That's something.
You take the silver needle.
And if nothing else, at least we get this needle. Now, let's head back to where we were. Take this nice long walk down here. And we're going to use this carpet from Aldin.
You unroll the magic carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet begins to rise skyward.
You can use it in most places, so long as it's an open enough area.
You realize that the carpet is beyond your control. It glides through the air on a seemingly predetermined course.
Oh, that's nice to have a good, intelligent carpet. All right, let's continue through here, and this should certainly look familiar.
A snake blocks your path to the east. It appears to be about 10 feet long and is coiled up, ready to strike.
Oh, that's no good. We're going to have to mesmerize it in some way, and we're going to do that with the necklace given to us by the mermaid.
You dangle the shimmering opal in front of the snake. It soon falls hypnotized in typical snake fashion.
And it is a fairly brief window that you have, so you want to move right past it. And then come down here and reach into this hollow for a little bit of an Easter egg.
You reach into the cavity and feel around.
Oh,
what is this?
Okay.
You've discovered a button hidden inside the rock. You press it and wait to see what happens next. In an instant, a man stands beside you. He appears to be somewhat of an adventurer, much like yourself.
Greetings.
Looks familiar.
I am King Graham of Daventry.
The newcomer nods in greeting. Without a word, he respectfully appraises you. You notice about him the manner of one who has only recently learnt the meaning of heroism.
From where do you hail, good sir?
The man opens his mouth to answer, but then pauses to consider that question. Evidently deciding that irrelevant exposition would serve neither party, he casually gestures to the hole in the rock behind you.
Might I inquire something of your identity?
After a brief search of his own person, the man pulls out a scroll card and hands it to you. You unroll it, and it reads, "Having fulfilled the requirements in accordance with the statutes of the famous Adventurers Correspondence School, the bearer is a qualified would-be hero." The man also shows you a medallion. Upon it are the words, "Hero of Spielberg." You reverently return the scroll to the man.
You don't say much, do you?
With a sigh of resignation, the man shakes his head silently.
Surely you might speak to me of your adventures.
The man becomes quite enthused about the prospect of relating his most recent adventure to you. Just as he is about to speak, however, you notice something on the ground that the man must have dropped. You retrieve the paper. It appears to be a scroll. Upon it is some writing. Disclaimer, you have just witnessed a rather shameless plug for the remake of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire by the entities of AGD Interactive. Available now. As you read the writing, the words are ingrained in your mind. The scroll disappears.
It is something I will probably get to eventually, but got a long list ahead of it, unfortunately. But it's always good to get back to Quest for Glory. Now let's look around, see what we have here. Oops.
You approach the workbench for a closer look.
Didn't quite need to do that, but we can start with this.
The ancient book bears the title, Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. It looks very old and has been propped up on a pedestal.
read it.
You flip through the book entitled Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes and Cures. The first half contains a list of enchantments. These do not interest you, as you have no desire to inflict inconvenience upon others. However, the Cures section does capture your curiosity. While browsing, you spy a promising paragraph.
All right, Ye Old Book of Enchantments, Causes, and Cures. While casting enchantments upon others may provide you with many daily hours of fun, do not ignore the danger that a miscast spell may have upon your own person. For this reason, you should prepare a simple item with which you can protect yourself against the effects of an enchantment, as well as providing a means for reversing said spell, should it be deemed necessary. Only the power of the emerald can properly dispel an enchantment, and thus the steps to create one are as follows. Firstly, heat a blue mineral and yellow vegetable, a plant is an acceptable alternative, together until they coagulate into a greenish liquid. Stir the mixture with a white feather. Drop into this a perfectly clear crystal and recite, heed now these words, crystal perfect. Green is thy hue, restore, correct. Guard well my form, preserve, protect. You will now have the means to safeguard yourself, should your enchantments ever get out of hand. To restore that which is under the effects of an enchantment, simply allow a strong light to pass through your emerald at the subject. Then behold the restoration. Well, that sounds interesting, and luckily we can do that. You can use the earrings that we found in the log. I prefer to use the brooch because it used to be Agatha's, and that amuses me.
You toss the brooch into the beaker.
And we have a yellow plant.
You toss the sickly yellow flower into the beaker.
And then we can use this sword as a means to light this flint.
You strike the blade of your sword against the flint stone. It sparks, and the wick catches alight. You watch, fascinated, as the two unlikely objects melt under the heat of the magical flame.
And then we can stir it with a white feather.
You stir the mixture carefully with the white feather. It soon dissolves in the hot liquid.
And now we need a perfectly clear crystal. Now, haven't done this yet, was waiting till this moment, and this, I don't love this because it's easy to not realize this, but if you take a look at your sword...
This is the sword of the first king of Daventry. It dates back almost 1,000 years and has been passed down from king to king since that time. Try not to damage it. A magnificent clear crystal is embedded within its hilt.
Now, I think we can use the mallet, but I'm going to see if we can use...
It's as sharp as a stake on one end.
I think we can use this stake
You managed to dislodge the crystal that had been set within the hilt of the sword almost a millennium ago. You feel a tinge of guilt and wonder what all the past monarchs of Daventry would say if they saw you damaging ancient crown property.
Now, personally, I think we should just try and get this crystal set back in the hilt, and then it will protect the wielder against enchantments, in addition to being a powerful weapon, but I guess that doesn't quite enter our mind yet.
You drop the crystal in and watch, amazed, as the green liquid slowly seeps into it.
Now, let's recite the spell.
Heed now these words. Crystal, perfect. Green is thy hue. Restore, correct. Guard well my form. Preserve, protect.
Very nice.
Recite the words correctly, line for line, and sure enough, only a brilliant emerald remains in the glass beaker. You quickly blow the flame out so as not to overheat the emerald and cause damage to it.
So we'll pick this up.
Picking it up gingerly, you're amazed that the emerald took virtually no time at all to cool.
Now, we could just take a look at something and leave, but I want to hang around, so we'll look at stuff while we wait.
This long staff looks magical in nature.
Maybe we can pick it up.
Enchanter's staffs are very powerful objects. You dare not touch this one, for fear of the consequences you may bring upon yourself.
All right, maybe we want a book.
You never did pay much attention during magic classes at Daventry High School. As a result, nothing in these books will help you.
All right, how about this thing on the wall here?
A neatly displayed scroll hangs on the wall. However, its archaic symbols and wording will forever remain a mystery to you.
Fair enough. There is one other thing we can look at in here, but if we wait somewhere between like 15 seconds and a minute, then something will happen which will make the thing we want to see a little clearer.
Approaching.
Plus, it's fun.
Uh-oh, the enchanter has caught you in his lair. He twirls his hands, aims them at you, and then utters some words under his breath. You feel a tingling sensation all over your body as the enchantment attempts to transform you into whatever the enchanter has fancied. At the same time, you also feel the comforting energy of the emerald shielding you. The enchanter's twisted smile turns downwards. He scowls at you.
Apparently he wasn't expecting that. Or this.
There is a look of panic on the man's face. He does not dare breathe.
Personally, I think Graham's a little too nice here,
I
but...
hereby order you to depart from Kalima forever, never to trouble its citizens again, lest you earn the fullness of my wrath.
The enchanter looks baffled. You sigh inwardly and try again.
Leave. If you come back, then you will get it.
The enchanter nods frantically, as much as he can without cutting his own neck on your sword edge. He gestures quickly with his hands.
All right, and as I said, we could have seen this before, but it's a little clearer
You
now.
notice that some writing has been engraved into the wall. You read the inscription.
In row of stones that number 6, half and a pair from left do pick. Quell then my spell, avoid the tricks. I think the narrator might read it after this as well, but so there's 6 stones in a row, half and a pair. So the 5th one in from the left, we need to quell the spell.
The engraving on the wall.
So hopefully we can figure out what that means. But first, let's go out and visit our horsey. What horse, you ask? Well, funny you should mention that. So we need to shine light through this, which Graham will do on his own. You want to be careful not to step too close, because the snake will bite you if you get pretty much any closer. But if we just click the emerald on it...
As you direct the sun's light through the emerald at the snake, you behold a wondrous transformation.
And the answer is that horse.
Before you now stands a magnificent winged horse.
Thank you for freeing me. A horrid enchanter transformed me into that legless thing after I refused to be his steed.
Well, let's hear some more.
That was quite a gamble, to refuse an enchanter.
True, but I could not have accepted, even if I had wanted to. For I am a disciple of the cloud, and can serve no land dweller.
Disciple of the cloud? What does that mean?
First, tell me of what you seek up here.
You take a deep breath, then explain about the door of destiny, the gems of nature, and your present quest to locate the growth gem.
So, you seek the air gem?
Yes, that is right. You know of it?
Most certainly. But you will not be able to reach it by any means available to you or any of your kind. I would gladly take you to it, but alas, the enchanter took and hid from me my bridle. Without it, we could search for 1,000 years and still never find the cloud spirit.
Where did he hide your bridle?
I do not know. Perhaps a clue may be found in that blackguard's abode behind me.
Interesting. Anything else?
What is this spirit you speak of?
The essence of what you seek. It passes through us as we grow, all through our lives, though few are ever aware of it. You will know soon enough when I take you to it.
Why do you choose to serve this cloud spirit?
It is my destiny, and I must fulfill it, just as you must fulfill yours.
I was not aware that I had one.
All of us have a destiny. Some are predestined, others are determined by choice. I believe yours to be of the latter.
Fair enough.
You don't have anything else to say to the steed.
All right, so we must go find this bridle, and given what Mr. Pegasus there is thinking, it seems that clue we read is the location of the
You unroll the
bridle,
magic
potentially.
carpet, lay it on the ground, and sit on it. The carpet rises into the air again.
And like I said, you can pretty
The
much
carpet
ride
begins to descend.
from anywhere that's clear, but it'll always put you down right here. And you can ride it up and down as often as you like, at least for now. And you may have already guessed where we need to go, which is right here, where there's a row of 6 stones, and we need to do half plus a pair, I guess, right? That's what it was. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click the emerald on it.
You bend over and hold the emerald above the stone so that the sun's light channels through it. Incredible. The rock has transformed into a silver-studded bridle.
Hey.
You take the bridle.
All right. Well, crisis averted. Now, I think this is an open enough area, so let's take out our rug. Now that we have the bridle, this will be the last time that the carpet will let us ride.
Lay it on the ground and sit on it. The carpet begins to rise skyward. As you reach down to get the carpet, it vanishes into thin air without even so much as a puff of smoke.
All right. So now I'm going to pause for 1 second because there are several paths coming up, and I want to show all of them.
You slip the bridle over the horse's head. It whinnies its approval.
And so I need to create a little
climb up on my
state
back.
to come back to. Let's climb up.
Hold on. This will be a little exhilarating.
Well, let's go for a little ride.
The disciple of the cloud gracefully soars high into the sky. You grip the reins tightly and hold on for dear life as he swoops and dips between the clouds. After a time, he draws near to a thick patch of luminous mist. As you pass through it, the horse sets itself down, seemingly on top of a cloud.
Does not sound very safe.
It is all right. You can dismount now.
Believing that you have finally lost all sense of reason, you dismount and prepare for a very long drop. And find yourself standing on a cloud.
How is it possible that I can stand upon thin air?
Such are not the questions you should be asking. You have come for the Air Gem, or the Growth Gem as it was once named by the ancients. It has not been termed thus without reason, for one who would have the gem as his own must prove himself grown and thus worthy of it.
Meaning, no disrespect.
Cloud Spirit.
Thank you. You must agree, Cloud Spirit, that I am a man fully grown, thus fulfilling your prerequisite.
A howling wind deafens you momentarily, though you feel nothing on your skin. The Cloud Spirit speaks again, a little more forcefully.
It is not enough that you have grown in body. That much is evident. It must be proven that you have also grown in both mind and soul. So on these shall you be tested.
Tested?
Those who bear the burden of king are expected to possess certain qualities. Your actions will be judged against the weight of these. It shall be seen whether you are deserving of your title. It shall be seen whether you are worthy of the Growth Gem.
After a moment of silence, the Cloud Spirit intones,
Behold your first test.
It's like the gong that sounds.
The mist around you clears, and you find yourself in a familiar place. This is Daventry, and furthermore, you are a child again. A slight dizziness overwhelms you for an instant. How strange, you no longer recall anything past this moment in time. It is as if this is happening again for the first time. Even stranger, you are still vaguely aware that you are undergoing a test of some kind, though for what purpose, you cannot fathom. But look, it is Malvolio, your best friend. The two of you are deeply engrossed in a game of bat and ball.
So basically there's going to be 3 scenarios here. For the first 2 that play out, there are 5 potential answers. Each one has a perfect answer and then 1 or more imperfect answers. You have to get at least 1 perfect answer and 1 imperfect answer.
That sounds like the king now. What do we do?
In order to earn the Earth Gem. But if you get both perfect answers, you have the option to pick a third funny answer in the third solution.
Yes?
We'll see them all.
Is that how you address your liege?
No, your majesty, King Edward, sir. I mean, sire.
Which of you 2 boys threw that ball? The one that just happened to land on my head?
Alright, so we have to speak to him. And here are our potential answers. So let's start with this guy. We'll just go down the list. This is the "What are friends for?" answer.
You eagerly point the finger at Malvolio. He hit the ball over the wall, after all.
It was all his fault, sire. Blame him. Punish him. Lock him away in the dungeon.
I see. Well, I am afraid I do not lock children in dungeons for simply being careless. However, I will see you play your game elsewhere. Away from here. By the way, my young fellow, it is not becoming of anyone of good character to blame others for the wrongs they may or may not have done.
Yes, sire. I mean, no, sire.
And considering that presumably you 2 are friends, your response was not consistent with that of true friendship. The finest knights in this realm demonstrate their compassion by protecting others, even if that should mean putting themselves at risk.
Alright, let's check out answer number 2. Why any sensible person would do under the circumstances. I feel like it should be what any sensible person, but whatever.
Run!
Impertinence! Well, I never. Children these days.
Alright, option number 3.
It was not us, your majesty. We had nothing to do with that.
The king looks upon you with a disapproving gaze. It would appear that he does not believe you.
I do not take kindly to a youngster who willingly disseminates.
Huh?
Lies. I do not approve of lies.
But it's the truth. The ball isn't really mine, and Malvolio wasn't holding that stick.
Stick?
Alright, and then for option number 4, I believe this is, so you basically kind of consider this like a 1-point answer. You need a total of 4 points, a perfect answer is 2, an imperfect answer is 1, and then no matter what in the third trial you get 1 point. So this I think gives you 1 point.
We both did it, your majesty. We're both at fault and deserve the same punishment.
You cast a quick glance at your friend, who just nods sullenly and avoids your gaze.
I see. Well, I do not punish for such trivial occurrences, particularly unintended ones. However, I will see you play your game elsewhere. Away from here.
Yes, sire.
Alright, and finally we have our last and presumably canonical answer, the sacrificial lamb.
You summon all your courage and speak up.
Your majesty, if you please, it was I who hit the ball over the castle wall. It was my fault completely. Please don't punish my friend.
The king eyes you carefully. You wonder if you are now in serious trouble.
I would not punish one for something so trivial. However, I will see you play your game elsewhere, away from here.
Yes, sire.
One more thing, my young fellow. You have demonstrated good character today by taking the blame for your friend. The finest knights in this realm demonstrate their compassion by protecting others, even if that should mean putting themselves at risk. I find that to be a rare quality in the many I meet. When you have grown up, I hope to see you again, perhaps in my service.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Alright, now let's go find another answer.
Behold your second test.
You feel yourself growing older, more so than before the tests began. Again, dizziness overcomes you. Your memory of the previous test fades, and in its place, your mind is filled with the knowledge of everything that has since come to pass. This includes, unfortunately, the dreadful misfortunes which have plagued Daventry since the coming of the terrible three-headed dragon. To make things worse, your 17-year-old daughter has been demanded as its latest sacrifice. In return, it will not harm the rest of the population until the next demand. You would go forth to destroy the dragon yourself, but you no longer have the heart for such quests. Never have you felt so forlorn, so frail. You fear that given the choice, you would do anything to rectify the situation.
So the second test arrived.
A charming view. No wonder you come here so often.
You. I will see you hanged for this intrusion. Guards! Guards!
Calling them will do you no good. For even if they come, they will find their king speaking to only the air he breathes.
A pox on thee. Who are you?
My name, my true name, has been heard by none for nigh on a millennium. It is enough that you know me as the Father.
Then say what you have come to say and be gone.
You never were one for small talk.
You cursed my family. As a result, that dragon is now loose upon the land, and one of my children was kidnapped.
Now that is not quite the truth.
Do you deny your involvement?
Not at all. It is just that you have omitted so much.
Speak and be gone.
Very well. I want your crown.
You cannot believe what you have just heard. This vile creature has caused untold misery throughout your land for nearly 18 years and has now infiltrated your castle just to ask that you hand over your authority to him? Of all the outrageous...
Is that what this is all about? You want to rule Daventry?
What would I want with a puny little kingdom when in a few short years I will have more power than Legitimor himself? No, I want only the thing you wear atop your head. Your crown. It is an essential part of my plan. Without it, my efforts to prepare for the ascension will have been in vain. I have waited far too long to be deterred from it now.
If you need it that badly, you could have just taken it. You had plenty of opportunities.
Are you completely ignorant of the legends of your predecessors? None can possess the crown of the first king unless it's given.
If you think for one moment that I would...
Before you speak further, consider this. In exchange for what I ask, I shall lift my curse and all that it entails from you and your blighted land. You shall have both it and your family restored in full. Minus your title, naturally.
Your mind reels at these words. For almost 2 decades, a countless number of innocent people have suffered under the afflictions Daventry has had to endure. So many more people would continue to suffer indefinitely, notwithstanding the pain you feel over your own family's misfortune. With a simple statement, you could put an end to it all.
Now, let's see what we have to say. So, again, we have 5 options here, and we'll go top to bottom, except we'll skip the correct or best answer for the end. So, unconditional acceptance.
You willingly give the father your crown and the title that goes with it. You wonder what Edward would say if he saw you now. You imagine he would not be pleased.
Thank you. You have made the right decision. Now, I shall send you on your way. Your family is waiting for you. One of them is a tad cold. Been ascending Daventry's peaks, I believe.
All right, let's see about a second bad answer. Provisional acceptance.
Very well. I will give you the crown, provided that you will take care of this realm and that no further harm will come to its people.
Of course.
You willingly agree to give the father your crown and the title that goes with it. You wonder what Edward would say if he saw you now. You imagine he would not be pleased.
That is... Of course I would do as you request, if I did not have more important matters to attend to, such as my imminent ascension. Not since the time of the ancients has the world known a ruler as powerful as the one I shall soon become.
You, vile, devious.
And that is enough out of you. Begone!
I guess just saying it was enough. Alright, and then for our third option, we're going to skip this one and...
Give you the crown? My crown? And renounce my throne to you? Regardless of how you would use the crown, I would never hand over my right to rule to anybody. The privilege is mine and mine alone, and I will take that with me to my deathbed. I deserve to rule, and rule I will. Begone, you vile creature.
To your chagrin, the father seems genuinely amused by your reaction.
What a delightfully vain shade of your former self you have become. Perhaps we are more alike than I first thought. Our next meeting will be quite enjoyable. Perhaps I could use such a narrow and shallow individual in my new order.
Interesting. Alright, and then for our fourth choice, we're going to pick the imperfect answer, the final act of defiance.
You shall never have the crown, and I shall make sure it will never be of any use to you. I would rather die than to risk it falling into your hands.
It's an aggressive move.
Such a foolish sacrifice. I suppose he thought of it as noble.
It is a good thing you cannot actually die during these tests. Quite convenient, really.
Alright, and finally we will give our fifth and perfect answer, severing the lifeline.
To give you my crown would signify a change of leadership, so says the law of this land. It also says that the crown is to be worn only by those with the highest regard and intent for Daventry. So, to give it to such a vile being as you would betray the honor and memory of all the past kings who have worn it. No, I will not do it.
Not even for the sake of your family?
There are some principles for which even one's family must be sacrificed.
The man appraises you as a scientist would a unique specimen.
What an intriguing set of morals you have, King Graham. I almost look forward to the time when you will put aside your obligations here and seek me out. I have foreseen that we shall meet again.
Behold your third test.
Alright, so now we will have the third test and see the options there.
Once again, you feel yourself age. You are many years older now, though still, thankfully, King of Daventry. As before, the knowledge of the previous test ebbs from your mind. This time, however, it is filled with a greater knowledge of all that has come to pass thus far. Many years have passed. Your children, once heirs to your throne, have forged their own paths in other kingdoms. Fortunately, chance has seen fit to fill the vacuum. Following the restoration of the Mask of Eternity, Daventry now has a new champion.
How do you feel?
I am deeply honored, sire.
All right. Now, how do you really feel?
Scared out of my wits, sire.
You smile and feel the lines in your face stretch. You hope you'll get used to it when the true time comes.
You know what they've been saying about my decision, that is.
The people question my ability to perform the duties when I have another higher obligation. I believe that I can attend to both with the utmost equity.
You do not deny that this obligation may arise at any moment, perhaps taking you away from this country at a time of great need?
Of course not, sire, but I shall deal with that troll, as they say, when I cross that bridge.
And there is the matter of you not being of royal birth. That does not sit comfortably with some of the nobles.
The qualities of truth, light, and order can shine from even the most impoverished of souls. Nobility is defined through one's actions, not one's lineage, Your Majesty.
You cannot help but smirk. For a man who had once lived as a peasant, he speaks extremely well.
Now, it doesn't really matter what you pick here. Both of these are considered acceptable answers. We'll start with not tonight.
I have carefully thought over the matter put before me. It is true that I no longer have a residing heir to carry on in my place. However, I cannot place the future of this kingdom in the hands of one who, while possessing great skills, courage, and virtues, may not be able to serve her with singular devotion. Go back to your village, Connor.
Yes, sire.
Despite his gracious acceptance, you sense that Connor has been dealt a rather severe moral blow.
It feels to me like that should be considered a bad choice, but apparently it's not. Alright, and then, as I said, if you give two perfect answers, you get the option for a third, fairly amusing answer here, since you've already gotten enough points to pass the Cloud Spirits test. So let's take a look at what that ending is, or answer is, rather.
I have decided, after long and careful consideration, that in order to earn your knighthood, thou must venture forth on a quest to capture and kill the most insidious and elusive of preys.
What is this prey? A dragon?
No. More wretched than that.
A dry-horned scaled beast of the southern plains?
No. More woeful still.
Surely not the scourge of the low mountains, the flesh-burrowing scorpion?
No. But it does get under your skin all the same.
Then pray tell, of what do I seek?
Sorry, I'm late, Queen. I hope I haven't missed anything.
That.
The talking owl?
Precisely. Charge!
Cedric is not well liked. Alright, and then we can give our final answer, which, like I said, it doesn't matter, but I prefer this answer here. It just feels more right in the moment. Although, overall, story-wise, do I prefer something different? We'll see. Maybe.
Kneel. Your sword. By virtue of your bravery, loyalty, and good conscience, I have chosen you to be my first knight. Thus you are my successor and heir to this throne. Arise, Sir Connor of Daventry.
Cloud Spirit once more. You also notice that it is starting to get dark.
Here's where we picked some bad answers.
You have not yet grasped the basic understanding of compassion, honor, and loyalty. These attributes transcend the mind and speak of the soul within you. In most souls, growth continues unabated. In you, however, it has been arrested. As a result, you have not grown as a living thing should. You are judged unworthy of the Air and Growth Gem.
Uh-oh. Guess we got kicked out of the air.
In the last fleeting moments of your life, you wonder whether you could have made some better choices.
All right, let's see what happens when we make good choices. All right, and now we can see what happens when we pick all the right answers.
You find yourself standing before the cloud spirit once more. You also notice that it is starting to get dark.
You have demonstrated your sound understanding of compassion, honor, and loyalty. These attributes transcend the mind and speak of the soul within you. Growth continues unabated throughout the lives of all living things. You have grown much, learnt a great deal, and will continue to grow in all ways. You are judged worthy of the Air and Growth Gem.
And then if we answer mostly correct, like not perfect, but well enough to pass the test, then he'll say something, instead of saying, you've grown a lot, you've mostly learned it, but it's largely unchanged.
You take the growth gem. As you feel the knowledge of the last test fade from your mind, the cloud beneath your feet begins to evaporate. You'd better get out of here quickly, Graham.
And you can watch the clouds start to leave, so we got to jump on Horsey right away. And away we go.
Finally, your flight comes to an end. You hope that it will be quite a while before you take to the air again.
Where would you like me to land?
On the ground would be fine.
Graham just happy to get some solid ground under his feet again.
Take this sugar cube. It will protect against the poisonous growth of this land.
Well, thank you.
Fare thee well.
All right, and with that, we will prepare to end things here. Hopefully that didn't
You
run...
notice you have lost a few things during your descent. Mostly all that paper you were carrying. You are not concerned, though, as long as you don't get into trouble for littering. As dusk sets in and the pallid moon rises above the darkened horizon, you recall the door of Destiny's words regarding the third gem, through swampy mire, in lone dark castle. Then you remember the great Neptune's disquiet reluctance to speak of Kalima's lord. You sense a growing unease that this final gem may not be the easiest to acquire.
Fair enough. Yeah, so hopefully it didn't get too long with all of those potential answers included in there, but I don't know, just wanted to make sure you could see all of the possible outcomes there. But either way, like I said, we will end things here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and then we'll come back in search of the Death Gem. But till next time, see ya.